ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕನ್ನಡ ರಾಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವದ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು. ನಿಮಗೂ ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕನ್ನಡ ರಾಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವ ಏನಂತಾರೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು. Yeah. So we are celebrating Kannada Rajyotsava in Karnataka, right? November 1. The entire month we celebrate it. So how are you all? So ನಾನು ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ನಿಮಗೆ? So how many of you don't know? Hey, it's okay. It's fine. Yeah. You also don't know. Google ಮಾಡಿಲ್ವಾ? So myself, Vinay Kumar, I am the founder of this institution, and I call myself as the director of the institution. So we don't have like CEO, MD, and all those things. Just like director, just like Rishabh Shetty. So this is the orientation for the last batch, supposedly last batch of 2023, right? So may I know why you people joined so late? Is it because your exams got over so late, or okay, for almost for everyone the exams got over in the month of October, I think, right? Any other people like you delayed the decision, your exams got over in June, maybe in July, but you were waiting. Yeah, why were you waiting? Please sit down. Okay, so you had started self study. Okay, so while writing test series you realized you need more content, more guidance, and all. Good. So what about you people who graduated in October? How many of you have started some kind of preparation for the examination, like reading NCRT, or you can raise your hand, like be confident. Okay, so how many of you completed NCRTs? Okay, 2 to 3 people. How many of you have the habit of reading newspaper? Oh, that is very good. Which newspaper? Hindu and Prajavani. So good. Like since when are you reading that? During graduation or before graduation? Any one individual who is reading newspaper since the childhood? Like I mean, like when you were in the 7th or 8th standard or 9th standard school days? No one. So mostly during graduation, maybe after you thought about UPSC preparation, right? So this is, I'm still warming up, like some people are coming here, so we'll start the formal orientation within 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, and how many of you are from outside Bangalore? Oh, the almost entire class from Bangalore. Yeah, very few people. Good. And so what about you, like you are from? Okay, so basically Kannadati. Oh, Kannadati only. Acha Tuduva. Acha. Shetty, acha. Shetri ಹೋಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ. So they are ruling, Kannada industry, and then they want to rule the Indian film industry as well. And what about you? You're from? Yes. From? Srinagar. Okay. Welcome. Please sit down. So what about others? Few more raised your hands that you are from outside Karnataka. The last black shirt, I think. Yeah. You tell me, like pink. Yes. You're from? Kolkata. Okay. You have come from Kolkata to Bangalore, or you were there in Bangalore? Okay. Yeah. Please sit down. So few more raised your hands. Only 3? I saw like 5-6 people raising your hand. Yeah. You're from Mumbai. So you are Marathi basically. You are also Shetty? Oh. You don't know each other. Okay. Your name? She is Gayatri Shetty. You? Gagan Shetty. No, I just like, see, this is how we come to know people, right? Good. So welcome to Insights IAS. right? And thank you for choosing Insights IAS. I'm sure most of you have come from either doing research on Google, going through reviews. Some of you might have come because somebody recommended you, right, to come here. Some of you, like in your own family, might have recommended you, right? So, are there any such cases here where your brothers, sisters, or relatives? No, yeah, few are there. Okay, good. Okay, okay, yeah, prepared. So he's in service, right? Yeah, yeah. Okay, good. So, can anybody define what is competition? Hmm? What is the meaning of competition? So you are all in the competition, right? You have all come from your respective states, respective districts, right? Today in this classroom to be part of one of the toughest competitions in India, right? May I know the definition of competition? What is the definition of competition? You know what is competition, right? Now, can you define it in one line? So it is a stream where you strive for the ultimate goal. Okay. Then what are the other definitions you can think of? You know what is competition, right? You have been since the childhood, like since you knew what was competition, you were part of the competition because of your parents, right? Like your parents wanted you to be better compared to the relatives kid or neighbor kid or somebody in the classroom, and then from LKG, UKG, first standard, you participated in various competitions, that spoon and nimbu competition, right? So various games, that some musical chair or magical chair, that, yeah, musical chair. So what is you were part of the competition, and you have been in the competition since day one, right? So now this is, some people assume that this is the pinnacle. I mean the topmost competition, right? So from your childhood days, college days, now we have chosen to be part of this so-called toughest competition. So before you start your journey as part of this competition where you want to crack the examination, where some of you might be dreaming that you want to be rank 1, you definitely, everyone is either dreaming IAS, IPS, or Indian Foreign Service in some cases. So nobody is dreaming about Indian Revenue Service or Railway Service or Postal Service, Trade Service, right? Or there are so many, like in Armed Forces Headquarters Services, Indian Defense Account Services, Estate Services, right? So you haven't looked at these central services. So your dream is to be in IAS, IPS, Foreign Service. Any IFS here? Anyone? Good. Two hands. IPS? Forest Service. Okay. So in, yes, of course, Forest Service. And then IPS? How many of you want to be in IPS? Good. Like 5, 6 people. So rest everybody wants to be in IAS, right? So to be in IAS, when you become part of the competition, you have to be in top 75 if you come under general category, right? So that is the level of the competition. Now before you start, I want you to tell me what is the definition of competition, because what happens is that we become part of something willingly, unwillingly, knowingly, unknowingly, intentionally or unintentionally, but sometimes we don't understand what the competition itself is, right? Starting with the basic of what actually is competition. So the dictionary definition of competition is that you want to achieve either supremacy or superiority over others, right? So that is the competition, right? So either it is in the forest where animals are competing to establish superiority or supremacy, and here in these competitive examinations, ultimately you want to defeat others, right? And then you want to be in the top, basically achieving that, a superiority in terms of being the first, right? So now, is UPSC civil services examination similar to other competitive examinations, right? Can we go with this definition for civil services examination as well? Hmm? So we started this institution in 2014, right? I started in 2014. In 2013, the website became full-fledged UPSC uh, preparation website. Before that, there was no dedicated UPSC website. So it was me who started this whole answer writing drama actually. So in 2013, I started one unique initiative, daily answer writing challenge, right? And then weekly essay writing challenge on the online platform where anybody could start writing answers and get them reviewed. And then a community was created where people came together, a peer groups were formed, and they started reviewing each other. And then it started growing. In 14, we started this offline batch. And we had initially around 40 students. And then in the 40 students, because the methodology was bit of everyday answer writing, weekly test. So only around 10-15 people stayed back. Out of them, we got 5 ranks, including All India rank 8, rank 26, rank 36, rank 95, rank 395. Right. So 3 of them were in the first attempt. So that has continued since then. The ranks have have been increasing. Now, why I am telling this? What is the relationship with the competition we were talking about and this particular topic I raised? Most of the toppers who have topped this examination through insights, I had a personal touch in them, most of them. And our team, eventually from 17, we built a very big team. Everybody, mentors, teachers. So we were interacting with them personally from day one. And then we started guiding them for prelims, mains, and then interview also. And after this session, I am going back to my cabin where I'll start doing mock interviews. For past 2 days, I've started doing mock interviews one-on-one. Right. Yesterday I did for 7 people. Before that, for 8 people. Last year I did for 400 people. 400 of those who got selected for interview. Around 1,800 got selected for interview. For 400 I did one-on-one interview guidance. Before that 535 candidates, because COVID we had plenty of time. So through all these interactions, right? So we have been having with candidates. One thing I have realized is that this competition is slightly different compared to all other competitive examinations. So here you are not trying to defeat anyone, you are not trying to achieve any superiority over anyone else. Basically, you are trying to achieve superiority on yourself, right? You have to defeat any of the evils you have, any of the qualities that may be detrimental to the success that you may possess now. So this journey is twofold journey, like starting from today. One is your own transformation, right? You will learn so many values, so many qualities that will transform your personality. You will become more humble, you will become more respectful, you will become more confident, you will become more knowledgeable, you will become more wise, right? You will become more tolerant, right? Your narrow views will go on getting broadened, right? You will accept others' views without getting offended. So all these things will eventually you will learn, right? They will become part of your personality. Second is you will go on gaining so much knowledge, right? As part of the competition where you have to learn new skills. One is qualities and values, another one is skills. So most of you come without writing skills, right? One of like very few handful of you might have done some essay writing practice or might have participated in essay competition in school college days, but other than that nobody has done consistent like everyday answer writing kind of practice, right? So all of you lack those writing skills, not only writing skills, also skills related to solving objective questions in prelims, how to eliminate options, how to arrive at correct answer, and then CSAT aptitude skills, and then communication skills also, which is very much essential for interview, right? So here, like at Insight says, because we understood the importance of both personality development and also the skill component, right? We focus on developing both of them from day one, right? But the second one will happen because of classes, the skills, other things will you will eventually learn because of the classes. So many tests like everyday answer writing, weekly test, monthly test, right? And then we'll get you activated all over prelim test series where you will have access to thousands of questions, right? So the skill component, based on your hardworking nature, your commitment, your determination, you will somehow improve. Now the biggest challenge has been the first component, that is personality development, right? Now if the personality is not getting developed, it is difficult to achieve the second component also, right? Because to give everyday test, to give weekly test, you need that personality which is right, hardworking, committed, smart, which has faith, right? Faith in your own ability and also in what we are doing for you. If these qualities are missing, or if there is this willingness is missing to learn these qualities, it is impossible to learn these skills, right? So some of you will gain the knowledge actually, but then applying that knowledge is the most important part. The crucial part of the examination preparation is many people lack the willingness, determination to apply what they know, right? So they don't want to practice. That is what I have witnessed and I keep witnessing every year, every day. That people know the things, somewhere they have the fear of writing answers, right? Fear of starting something new as part of the examination process. So they always have excuses or fears or some complaints, right? So you have to become that optimistic, positive personality which has a mindset of a learner, right? You have to remember that you come as a blank slate now, right? Your gold medals doesn't matter, your academic record doesn't matter, whether you had failed or whether you took more number of years to complete your graduation, nothing matters here. Which college you come from, which school you come from, nothing matters. So there are two category of students. One come from all the qualities that I'm talking about. Because of good college, good schooling, they might come. For them also it is going to be difficult, right? Because learning skills is not easy thing. Second, some people come with a not so good academic record. So most of us belong to that category, right? So I used to belong to that category. So now what you have the option before you is that you have to learn every day. Every day you have to keep learning a new thing, new skill. For that willingness, from the core of your personality is required. If that is consistent, right, every day if it is evident, cracking this examination is cakewalk. No, we talk about, right, like it's something cakewalk means it's very easy to achieve. So once if you achieve superiority over your own personality, your own develop all those qualities, cracking this examination is very easy, right? This is what I have realized and I try to communicate this idea wherever I go, right? Now you do not, in the sense ki your who you were before you came here, your past has no bearing here, right? You can learn everything to crack the examination. There is a clear roadmap, right? So you might have heard, right, like people telling you that this is like fight in the dark, the exam is very uncertain, and you know like you are just like what, trying in darkness. It's very uncertain, you don't know what the result is going to be. Some people keep telling you. Have you come across anyone telling you this? No. Okay, if you haven't come across, then it is good, right? But people have created this illusion, this notion that this exam is extremely difficult to crack, right? So what you are going to read as part of the examination preparation is not complex things or extremely difficult tough things. Hmm? Just for a minute, few seconds, you just go through the syllabus, like in your mind, if you have seen it. Just do some introspection. Everything you are going to read as part of the examination was part of your school curriculum, right? Everything, nothing, not a single thing outside of it, right? So geography, polity, economy, general science, environment, modern history, art and culture, ancient medieval history, right? The basics, the economics. If you look at all these subjects, they start from where you had left in school days. Till 10th you might have studied, or till 12th some of you might have studied. So that is the foundation, that is the base, right? On that base, once once again if you read all those basic books and create a strong foundation, on that you can build the rest of the skills and qualities, knowledge required to crack this examination, right? And then newspaper. So newspaper is something that covers things that are happening around us. They don't imagine stuff and write, right? Except few news channels, the most of the print newspapers, what do they write? They write what is happening. Some of them write opinion about what is happening, the editorial and opinion articles in the columns. But 80% of the paper is what is happening around us. All it requires is basic English to understand what is written in the paper, right? So if you possess basic English, if you possess uh, that ability to comprehend what is written, some of you will not be able to understand the editorials. If you start reading now, you won't be able to, but eventually you will achieve that. If you have to you have to persist with it, you have to stay with it. Some people give up and they start reading the ready-made materials, or YouTube videos which are which spoon feed you the direct content, right? Not the analysis part. So you have to develop that ability to understand. So once you do these things, which are nothing but what is happening around you, what is already there in front of you, the school textbooks, the NCERT textbooks, and newspaper. So this forms the bulk of the preparation. Now the challenge is, once you know the knowledge, once you have understood the thing, how to apply it, right? This is where we come into picture. So here we are going to teach you the all the faculties are very good, and we have got very good feedback about everyone, right? They will give you very good notes in the classroom, and then we always encourage, everyone will encourage you to go back and read the textbooks, right? So that is the compulsory part, right? We will never tell you that you read my notes alone and then you will crack the examination. Notes will have every content relevant to the examination. For instance, like many people after this year prelims came and gave the feedback that their notes in polity and geography had answers to all the questions that came in the prelims, right? But again, I don't completely believe that, in the sense that they would have read the NCERT textbook also, right? To know what is there in the notes, you should have done some extra reading. You should have solved the questions, right? Anyway, that much is available, right? You can trust to that extent. But ultimately, what matters in this examination is your own hard work, your own extra hard work that you put to crack the examination. So after the classes, once you write the notes, number one thing you have to do is go back and compulsorily read NCERT textbooks, right? Second part is compulsorily solve previous year questions, MCQs and both mains questions. So mains questions you may not solve, but be aware of what mains questions they are asking. But MCQs you have to compulsorily solve every day, right? Plus syllabus. You have to memorize the syllabus. Every part, both prelims, what is there in the paper 1 and CSAT part, and all the 4 parts of the GS papers. And for essay also they have written 2 paragraphs, right? So what is expected in essay from your side, and then for interview also they have written like 2 to 3 paragraph. There is a syllabus for interview also, what is expected out of you. So you have to remember by heart every single word that is there in the syllabus. So once you know your syllabus very well, once you know the trends of the examination, the previous year question papers, rest the ability to apply that knowledge, that I was talking about all this willingness, determination. So that becomes easy because you will get the clarity, right? You will get the confidence that whatever learning is in the right direction, that the same was asked in the previous year question. So next year there is a probability. And above that, every day we give you questions, weekly we give you questions, right? So after attending the class, what you have to do, read NCERT, solve previous year questions, and no matter where you are, what you are doing, never miss a single test that we are giving you, right? So there are institutions which will never give you tests. They promise and they will never give you tests. So here we are not promising, it is part of the program, right? So it is the routine. So we give you test, we give you weekly test, monthly test. The problem is that people don't come and write them. Very few people out of 100 we see, like around 10 to 15 people come and write the test regularly. I don't know the reason, like again it is something to do with the personality part, the first aspect I was talking about. So either they are fearful of not writing good answers, scoring very low marks. So I'll come to this scoring very low marks part. So they have various fears and apprehension that will stop them from doing it. You should not be one among them, right? So you heard her, like she was writing test series, so she felt like she needed guidance. And there are people who have completed coaching in like Delhi and have come back and joined our OGP program in previous batches. They have spent like 5 lakh in Delhi, more than that, right? And then they have come back and joined mainly because of the answer writing practice and the guidance, the mentorship, right? The mentorship is very professional here. And in fact, we have many people who are in service, right, who are mentoring willingly. So they just want to spend some time mentoring because they are again preparing for UPSC, like, they want IAS. So we have IPS people like our own students, right, who used to prepare here. They are mentoring you people. So they are already good in answer writing, they are good in interview, they are good in essay writing, right? They know how to crack the prelims. They have done it multiple times. So these people, so I think, like as I said, I did 8 mocks day before yesterday, 7 mocks. I'll go and again do 6, 7 mocks. So you will stumble upon people who have written mains and interview in this institution again and again, right? Which is rarity in somewhere else. So you have opportunity to learn at every step of your preparation, both in the classroom, outside the classroom, from me, from your mentors, from your faculties. And another good thing about Insights is that the faculties are in-house faculties, which means they teach and they stay at Insights IAS. They don't go to another institution to teach. It is not like that. So in other institution, what they do is that they invite people from Delhi, Hyderabad, they teach and they go back. So here every day you will be seeing those faculties. And you know that one subject is completed first and then only we'll move to another subject. So we are not going to mix, like uh, like we don't do a subject for 10 days, another subject for 10 days, not like that. But for you people, because you joined late, there will be 2 parallel subjects. Both will get over completely and then we'll move to other 2 subjects. Like for example, if we start with polity, the polity will get completed in 35 to 40 days. Simultaneously, another subject will be there, maybe geography or economics. So that will also get completed. So in next 40 days, you will complete 2 subjects. So we are not bringing another subject. The only CSAT will come and go in between, right? So that we cannot do, like continuously and then forget it. So it has to be spread across the year, throughout the year. So that will be there. So sometimes you will have to sit 6 hours in the class, sometimes more than 6 hours when there is CSAT. So don't ignore the CSAT. You may be very good. So we have wonderful faculty for CSAT also. So attend CSAT classes, right? So here we encourage you to attend classes. And if you are already very good in some subject, maybe you can skip that and invest that time either in the optional or in answer writing or in solving previous year questions. But whatever you do from morning to evening, you have to be immersed, involved in the whole preparation process. So don't allow any other thought, any other idea enter into your mind. till you give the examination. So some of you might give in 23, some of you might give in 24, but till you crack this examination, it can be next 1 year or next 2 years, don't allow anything get into your head. So that can distract you, deviate you from this process. So again, let your focus be only on the process. I talked about, you have to be a learner. So what is the meaning of, having the mindset of a learner? Can anybody answer? When I say you have to be a learner, like every day you have to be a learner. Hmm? Focused, then dedication. Yes. Okay. Learning new things. Good. So to have that mindset of a learner, what you should possess? Hmm? Discipline. So there is one word I want to hear from you. It starts with C, but not consistency. Very good. Somebody said. Who said that? Curiosity. You said. Good. Curiosity. Right. If you are not curious, right, you can never be a learner. The learning in this conventional sense is not learning. The way we memorize things from books, notes, that is not learning. The learning is you have this innate curiosity to empower yourself, enrich yourself, know little more about, right, so what you are already learning. So to learn about new things may be related to the may not be related, right. So this is very important. The reason is that if you have this learner's attitude, you will never be affected by low scores in the examination, right. You will never be affected when you write a poor essay or poor answer, because you want to learn from these experiences. So when you want to learn something, you will always fail. Failure, is also consistent here. So not in terms of the real examination, but weekly, monthly, daily, right? So you will fail to write good answer when we ask today or tomorrow. When we ask you to write a good essay, you will fail to write a good essay, right? So many people will not write good essay like even next 4 to 6 months. It will take lots of time. It requires lots of patience. So what it does is that when you are failing in terms of the conventional way, not able to score good marks, it keeps affecting your confidence, right. You will always feel weak, like underconfident, that I'm putting my efforts but I'm not able to get good marks, right. I'm reading everything, I have heard class very well, I made notes from the class, I've gone and revised it, and I did previous year question, I did NCERT, even then my scores are not improving, right. So you will face these moments again and again, but in that moment remember this advice that everything is part of the learning, right. So out of 50 questions, if you are able to answer only 10, 20 questions, the MCQs, right, see it this way, the 30 questions you didn't get correct or you didn't know answers are your learning opportunities, right. So this is very important, because if you are not going to develop this mindset, you will definitely deviate from this journey. You will go back home, you will leave the classes in between, because at the end of the day you tend to do comparisons, right. Some of you get ahead compared to others, that you'll start writing better, you start scoring better, and then the people will start comparing. Even in the classroom, when somebody will answer to every question, so we have the tendency from school days, right. So if a teacher asks you a question, you want to be the one to answer it first, right. So you don't realize that it is making someone very nervous, more people nervous in the classroom, but everybody should be involved. So those who know should definitely answer, those who do not know should definitely ask questions in the classroom. Instead of getting nervous, you have to learn again, either from the teacher or from one individual who raises hands again and again to give answer. You learn from them also, right. So when you have this attitude of curiosity learning, you will also stay humble, right. So that even if you start scoring well, eventually it should not get into your head that you are already doing well, right, until you see your name in the final list, which will eventually happen, right. it will happen provided if you have listened to the entire class and internalized, imbibed the qualities I was mentioning, and if you practice them consistently, this will definitely happen, that your name will be in the final list. So we started this OGP program in 2017, right? So we had around 200 students, right? As far as I know, almost everyone, those who like some of them doctors went back to practicing medicine, some of them started doing businesses. Most of them have got into services, may not be UPSC, but different examinations, NABARD, RBI, recently the KPSC list, right? Out of 106 people, 55 people were from the inside CES, those who were part of the OGP core batch, right? So I started seeing that those who had joined, right, in 2017 were part of the OGP for like 2 years, have started, some of them cracked this examination bit early also in the same year, next year, who they got into top services. But even those who didn't have the confidence, those who were lagging behind, they have started cracking this examination in various state examinations and other things, right? And especially those who persisted, right? So this is the nature of the competition here. So some of you will get crack the examination in 1 or 2 attempts. For some of you, it may take more than 1 or 2 attempts, right? At the end of the day, we have limited seats. This is the nature of the competition. So you have to be mindful of this competition also. Understand the nature of the competition, right? But in cracking 1 or 2 attempts is a possibility at inside sayers, but because we have proved it again and again. You know that rank 31, Avinash. So it was his first attempt, and he was part of the OGP program in the same year, right? And you will also wonder, if I say this, most of the OGP people who after 1 year classes, when you give prelims, right, the success rate of those who are clearing prelims is increasing. But more than that, what I am happy about is that even those who don't clear, they are getting the score in the range of 80 to 90 marks, right? With maybe some extra push, some extra attention and your own extra practice, you might very well crack in the first attempt. All you need is another 3-4 questions to be correct. But that number, so this I am telling you because I talked about people coming back from Delhi and joining here. They tell, when I ask about, so if you had given your first attempt, what was your expected score? They usually say 40 to 50 or 50 to 60, some 60 to 70 marks, right? And this is possible because of the focus on answer writing and also multiple revisions. So now answer writing has direct implication for scoring well in preliminary examination. Do you know why? Right. When you write answers regularly, right, when you write answers regularly, your prelim scores will also increase. Now this entire examination, there was this notion, prelims is a separate compartment. So I will prepare separately for prelims only by revising multiple times, solving mock tests, prelims mock test, and then people would compartmentalize the mains part also, saying that after once I am good in prelims, then I will take up the mains part. So it is not like this, it is integrated. So when you write answers, the depth of understanding will increase, right? So for example, let's say as part of the science and tech class, you are taught artificial intelligence, right? So what is it? All the dimensions of artificial intelligence. So now as part of the class, we will make you write few answers on artificial intelligence, right? So when you write an answer, what is the component of the answer? So in an answer, there are two important parts. One is argument, second one is evidence, the substantiation, example part. So you have analysis and then you have facts to justify your analysis. So the facts and examples which constitute most of the MCQ questions, you will have to remember. When you write an answer, when you write, you will remember. To write, you will have to retain it, right? So when you write regularly, right, just solving an MCQ and revising multiple times, you will tend to forget it fast. The same thing when you write again and again as part of the examination, as part of your practice and as part of the test we give, right, you will tend to remember it for long term as well as you will know the depth of it. So if there is a preliminary question, doesn't matter how many statements they give, you know that they give like 2 to 5 statements below one question in UPSC questions. So in rare cases 6 statement also, that a 5 is what we have seen highest. So when you have 5 statements under a question, so you should know everything about that particular topic, otherwise it is difficult to eliminate. Got it? So if you are missing answer writing, you are also missing your chance of clearing preliminary examination, right? So now don't see it as a separate process, answer writing. So that is why you have to take it very seriously. And what happens when you write an answer, you can go to mentor, right? You can get it evaluated. When you write an essay, you can come to me directly and get it evaluated. And only by helping people improve their scores, either in only in essay or in some cases ethics, most cases in interview, right? So I have made people get into top services, right? You might remember Nandini Kiar, right? Rank 1. So she had got a rank 800 something. She came to me asking for guidance with respect to answer writing and essay because she had scored low mark in the essay paper, right? Around 86 or something. So the attempt where she got 800 something rank. So next attempt, through multiple essay practice, she did all the practice thing, right? She was dedicated, hardworking, sincere, humble. So our work was to give my work was to give the feedback. So she increased her score to 140 plus the essay, right? So there was nearly 60-mark jump in the essay paper. A 60-mark jump is equal to jump in 700 ranks in this examination, right? And then she did well in Kannada optional and then interview also 190 plus. She got All India rank 1. 1 month before she got the final result, I had made it public that Insights was going to get rank 1 and it was Nandini Kiar, right? So there is a video on YouTube and there is a newspaper clip in Kannada newspaper where she says that so Vinay sir was joking that I would get All India rank 1. That I would ask him, not to joke, sir, like how can it happen, right? So now, how did I know that she was going to get rank 1, right? I knew because here we set the highest benchmark when it comes to answer writing, right? When you bring an answer or when you bring an essay to anyone, we know the competition and we tell you that your answer writing is not up to the mark in terms of what is required to crack the examination, because we know the competition because of our online presence. We have students from every part of the country, right? And we have had hundreds of toppers previously. We know how they used to write, right? So because of our familiarity with the competition, how people write, right? There are people from Stephens College, for example, that is one of the best colleges in India, the topmost college. In fact, day before yesterday, I did a mock interview for a student from St. Stephen's, Delhi University. So we know how they write, right? So we know somebody from Delhi School of Economics or somebody from IIM. Like yesterday, I did a mock interview for a girl who had an MBA from IIMB, right? So because we are familiar with the best of the best, how they write, when you bring, we will be honest with you. We'll tell you that no, you have to up the game. You have to increase it, increase the quality. So when you do it and when you start showing it, right? So that is when we start recognizing that, and internally we'll tell that, so this candidate has the potential, right? And then the prelim scores, the scores you get in our all mocks will indicate whether you are going to crack prelims or not. So if you start scoring 100 plus in our prelims marks out of 200 in the full length marks, so that we will tell you, okay, you have the capability to crack prelims. So once you clear prelims, we know your answer writing, and then through your optional teachers, we know whether how you write your optionals. So once you show that in optional test series you are scoring 250 to 300 marks. So that is what the highest marks you can get. So and then we'll get the feedback. Okay, essay I know how well you write. In GS 1, 2, 3, after prelims, we will have a mains test series for you. Right? So we will have like 20 mains test. In those, if you are scoring 100 plus in every GS paper, we will know that in the real exam also you are going to score around same 100 around. Some of you will write the best of the answers. So combinedly, and then through interview guidance, I will know, and not before interview guidance itself, because if you interact with us regularly, we will understand your personality, right? You have to become familiar with all of us here, mentors and teachers, and with me, so that we will be able to guide you properly when it comes to interview as well, so that we know your weaknesses, we know your strengths. To so why people are like people from the highest so called the best institutions are coming for interview guidance, because of the past track record. So people who used to score 130, 140, we guided them and they have got 180, 190 plus. People who were stuck in 160, 170 got 200 plus, right? And there is this trust factor that the clear guidance is given here. But the problem is that everyone will not come forward and avail the guidance. That is the issue. So once you start doing that, we will tell you that you have, you know, the ability, and your chances of getting rank is very high. So in fact, I like to play this game, like So 1 year before, we had a session in Davangere with Prajavani. So there I made it public that so in the CSE 2021, a boy from Davangere will get rank in top 10, right? So if I told this in front of nearly 1,000 audience, based on the confidence that he was going to get 219 law optional, right? He eventually ended with 259 in law optional. Avinash, he got rank 31. If we had got even 270 marks, he would have been in top 10, right? But so our guess with respect to his GS, essay and interview didn't go wrong. Those marks, if you calculate, it is in the top 10, right? So what makes us is your own attitude, your own personality, your own, show of promise through your hard work, and ultimately the rank that you are going to get is the rank that you are going to earn, right? So our role is merely 1% in this entire process. The fees you have paid is only for 1%, right? The 99% has to come from you. If you are not willing, if you are not determined, if you are not tough, right? So tough in the sense, you should not. That is what. Like again, ranked by Jaydev. So he was also OGP student. So I told him you will be in top. I said top 3. I didn't tell top 1. I said top 3. Right. The reason I told him is that so he's 1 year he consistently got the feedback. So I give his example as for somebody to be tough. He was never distracted. When he used to come and wait outside to get his essay evaluated or his GS answer copy to be reviewed, he would not waste a single second, talking to anyone, right? So he was so focused in his pursuit of this rank that it would scare me, like sometimes, that you will actually go on to respect that individual because of the focus, because of the nonsense attitude that he had showed. So if I didn't respond him, like he would message on WhatsApp that, sir, I want to show my essay, at what time I should come tomorrow, right? Let's say I don't respond because I ignore the message or I don't see the message. He would reply message again next day, not next day, the same day after like few hours. Sir, like I would like to show my essay. Kindly, can I come tomorrow? Let's say I don't see that message for some reasons. Next morning again he would insist. So with a blunt tone, still respectful, but said, sir, at any cost I want to get it reviewed. Like I want to come today. Can I not? Can I come? I want to come today. You cannot ignore it anymore, right? Then I would tell, okay, come at this time. And I fully respect, fully love such kind of individuals. The ones who do not give up, the ones who are courageous, the ones who are tough, right? there is so much ego, in all of you. I also have ego and everybody has a ego. Let's say somebody do not give you attention, you won't go to them, right? Somebody makes you wait, you don't want to again go there. You are always like impulsive, you want to complain, right? So cultivate these qualities where, the patience, and if you want to get things done from somebody. For example, Manjunath sir, like he's so good in polity. If you have a doubt in polity, don't leave him, chase him with every faculty. I'm just giving one example, right? So you have to go to them. Most of the people don't go because we have this small ego problem, the fear problem, right? So what if my doubt is very silly, right? You start by asking, sir, my doubt is very silly. So this is my question. Can you answer this question, right? So if you don't cultivate these, kind of behavior attitude, it is going to be very difficult. And so look at all of you, like all of you are very young, like how many, like 15-year-old? Hmm? Huh? 21 to 24, right? Most of you. So all of you come with what here? Hmm? Big dream. So all of you have this, there is people call all of you as what? Hmm? Aspirant or aspirants. Huh? So some people pronounce it as aspirants also. So all this Baldwin, this Bishop Cotton, Safaya. What is this? Sophia? No, Sophia. It is Safaya. So those who are born and brought up in Bangalore, they know it very well. So they have different pronunciation. So people call you as aspirants, right? So why are you labeled as aspirant? Hmm? Why? Hmm? Why are you called as UPSC aspirant? Hmm? You are UPSC aspirant, right? Huh? Because you have this aspiration, right? Aspiration to crack UPSC examination, but that is wrong. You have to be ambitious, right? The next step of aspiration is ambition. If ambition is not there in your head, you will always remain as an aspirant, right? If you bring ambition into your head, your mind, your heart, whatever it is, like in your thinking, right? Then from aspirant to becoming topper will be a smooth process. Without ambition, what happens is that you will always undermine yourself, your own abilities. You will always feel demotivated. What is ambition? Ambition is that even when you have fallen down completely, right? Even when everyone around you are pushing you, when everyone is ತುಳಿಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತಾರೆ English ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಳಿಯೋದು, stampeding you, right? Even when everyone is stampeding you or like pushing you, putting all kinds of doubts against you, right? The ambition is that thing. Even in that moment, so called the darkest of the moment, you still feel that you are the king of the world, queen of the world, right? You will feel that. So in Kannada, ಇದು ಬಿದ್ರು ಮೀಸೆ ಏನೋ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದು ಜೆಟಿ. So the thing is, you should develop that attitude. So don't let fears, don't let other people who doubt you affect your own ambition or self confidence, right? The moment you do that, you become vulnerable, right? The moment you allow people to overpower you, influence you, right? You become vulnerable and you always be a victim, right? Of something. So the trick is not to feel that way. In movie you have seen, right? So there is a moment, the hero gets all the beating and then is fallen down and everyone is, on him, and suddenly something happens. He opens his eyes and everyone goes to moon and Mars. Right? So he hits everyone, everybody flies around him. Right? So that is heroism in movie, but here through your success you can actually make it happen. Right? So it is all about mindset. So if the mind is strong, if your thinking is big, and if you want to pursue this, because there are reasons for you, right? You haven't come here just because it's a government job. For some of you it may be a government job, but there are many people why you want to be in this job, right? So there are n number of reasons. So it can be a social prestige, social status, or it can be to do service to the society, right? You might have witnessed certain injustices somewhere, so now you feel powerless to address that injustice. You cannot do anything about it as a common man, so you want to be in a responsible, powerful position and do something about it. So everybody has those stories, right? Keep remembering them, right? Keep rewinding them. And why you want to achieve this, the reason must be very strong, right? In mock interview, I asked this question: why do you want to become IAS officer? So most of the answers are, the job gives me diversity, the job gives me security, these kind of things. So these are outdated, not outdated, like cliched answers, which do not impress us. Impress in the sense ki, like they do not make me feel like, to select you. You are only coming for because the job offers diversity and other things. So there should be a strong service mindset, right? So there should be a strong reason that why you want to be in the service. You want to be in the service not for yourself, but for the society and nation ultimately, right? The nature of the job is like 24 hours. You cannot give time to your spouses, your children going forward. You will somehow balance. Those who are balancing are doing, you know, not so great service to the nation, because you want to be in comfort zone all the time, right? So it becomes an excuse. Okay, I mean, you may have a debate on that, but the thing is, have a strong purpose. So you see around so many problems, right? Huh? So everywhere there is problem, and the solution is you and your thinking and your attaining this particular position. So once you get into this, so if the transformation has taken place during the preparation, that you have become humble, confident, other things, as part of IAS, when you become officer, the same personality will continue. So then you will listen to the problem of the people, right? So not in your office, but you will go to the people, right? So you'll go to them, you will ask them what is the problem, what is the doubt, and then you will solve their problems. So the journey you are starting, the transformation is for your good, and your parents will notice. After 2 months, they will tell, my daughter has become so mature. My son has become, sons especially, sons have become hmm, so mature, and you start giving them ideas, start giving them inputs. You start trying to solve, their issues also. Till now, you didn't want to be part of their problem. So you will learn to take an initiative also to solve their problems. So these things they will also notice, right? So for everything to happen, you have to be hmm, tough, strong, and willing to learn at every moment, right? So if that is there, you are in the right place, and this is an institution, that is located in Bangalore and has made Bangalore as the civil services hub, right? So 4 years ago, this street was empty. You would not see anything, any busy activity here, right? The area has prospered, right? Thanks to all of you coming here and spending lavishly on coffee, tea, hmm, rent, and everything. So unfortunately, the cost has increased here, right? But it has happened not because of marketing. Most of you didn't come because, did you see a newspaper advertisement and joined here? No, right? You did your own research and then maybe some of recommended. So the numbers are not because of marketing, the way the company sponsor IPL cricket matches, right? It is because of the results, right? It is because of the results we have come here, and you will also go on to crack the examination, and that is what our focus is. Many people come, newspaper people will come and say, put a big advertisement, we will, get more number of admissions. I keep telling them, no. What I want to do is do justice to the students who have enrolled here. let us spend my time, money, attention on the people who have enrolled here, right? So like after 8 years, after like achieving some amount of success, uh, so I can go somewhere and do some other business activities, right? So what I do when I'm in Bangalore, I come in the morning around 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11, sit till in the evening and interact only with the students, right? So even today I do the essay evaluation. The For people who did, they have become district collectors, right? After like 7-8 years, they have become district collectors, so many SPs in so many districts, right? But when they come and they wonder, you are the same, right? And I love doing this. So I'm not doing this out of compulsion, out of like any kind of. So it is not like I never complain about it, despite the fact that the 10 people who walk in write same content, right? Write the same boring story in their essays, write the same boring examples. So despite that, I read them carefully. Not only me, I am talking about the institution, the mentors. Every day they meet so many students. They bring the same answer, they bring the same essay. We keep doing it because we are passionate about it, and I am passionate about the results, right? The results because I see, because my focus is also on personality development. I see it as an opportunity for us to provide good people into civil services, right? So when we interact with you again and again, by setting our own example as being dedicated or humble, some of you might learn we need to be like this, and through our suggestions, through the conversation, we'll tell you, share your stories, that why you need to be focused, why you need to stay humble and knowledgeable. During felicitation we give them books. For all the toppers, we gave them two books, right? In my speech I told, I took only 2 minutes to talk to them. I told them, keep learning, right? For all the toppers, you might have seen the big photo in my cabin. So there are 125 UPSC toppers in one frame, nearly 90 of them IAS, IPS, right? So we gave them books. I told them, don't allow this success to get into head. Read these books, read more number of books, keep updated, keep learning, and stay humble. So this is what the focus. So we want to give good officers, and then it's my personal dream to double the numbers from Karnataka as well, right? So from your state, because you are here anyway, that will happen. But I there is so much talent in Karnataka, right? So there is so much talent. Like the Mangalore is hub of talent actually. It's very rare to see people aspiring for UPSC. They want to do movies, they want to do business, they want to get into banks, they want to go to foreign, they want to like do plantation things, settle, like they enjoy life to the core, like these people, I mean, they love their life. But very few people want to get into government services, but they are so talented. Similarly in Bangalore, most of the, especially Kalyan Karnataka, very hardworking people, so they lack the guidance, and more than guidance they also lack the ambition. Whenever we go to Gulbarga, Belgaum, uh, Dharwad and other part, when we did the program, most of them wanted to become sub inspectors. So we try to change their mindset. No, don't become sub inspector. Try to become IPS officers. So there is a way forward. There is a guidance, right? And when you come to our institution, any for inquiry or something, we don't immediately convert you. Telling you that buy this course, you will become topper and other things. So we'll give you the details. We'll tell you what are the pros and cons, and then if we leave it up to you. So we encourage people to come and talk here, get the guidance. So it is always open door. And once you complete the course, you are always welcome back here, right? So we have the highest number of old students as part of the ratio. More than the existing students, we have more number of old students who keep coming back. Even after giving 2-3 interviews, writing 4-5 mains, they keep coming back because of the trust factor, right? And not only trust, because we are like open minded, and we keep our doors open for you. So we don't charge for you, like for, let's say, after 1 year, after you complete the course, if you want to get essay evaluated, you are always welcome to come and show. We will never ask, show your ID whether you are a present student. whether you have enrolled for any course or not. So in fact, you can ask other institution students come and get their essays evaluated. We do it without any discrimination, right? So because of the goal, I said, more number from Karnataka. It doesn't matter whether they are from our institution and another institution. So the goal is more important, not the other aspects. So when you are as part of the program, you are always special to us, right? Especially the OGP students are always dear to us, so we treat them specially. So you have to come and approach. Whenever somebody asks my number individually, I save it as their name and then the OGP, the year, right? Any messages from you will never be ignored, right? So whether it is for guidance, whether it is for evaluation, or any some people come with other personal troubles also, just to share them, talk about them, get some tissue papers. So so we do that also regularly. Now I keep tissue paper in my cabin only for that purpose, right? So both boys and girls come and cry, and I laugh like maja tagaladanta. So I allow people to share, unburden themselves, lighten themselves. You talk, okay, and then I make them laugh. So I have some little sense of humor, like which eventually you will find. I look very serious, but I possess little sense of humor. So the thing is, we want you to be happy. We want you to be, what, successful. And again, the definition of success varies from people to people. I don't consider cracking IAS as the success. After cracking the IAS, what you do as part of the job. So I consider that as a success. If I read in newspaper that this particular officer was given certain award because of this unique work, because of this unique service, so that is the most satisfying moment than you cracking the examination, right? So everybody should aspire for those things. Okay, so this is about orientation, right? So I am sure you don't have any doubts. So regarding which optional to choose and other things, you can go to mentors, you can come and talk to me also, right? In the afternoon after 4 o'clock, you can come. So we'll tell you. But just to give you briefly, political science, sociology, anthropology, Kannada literature, next geography, public administration. These should be the preferred optional subjects. If you're agriculture graduate and if you've done agriculture in your graduation, definitely go with agriculture. Similarly, if somebody have done masters in say botany, zoology, and if you are really good in those subjects, only if you have done masters you can go with it. If you are a law graduate, if you have studied law really well, if you are a medical science student and if you have done medical science really well, then go with it. And if you are from like some people want to take mathematics, but I discourage mathematics because the time it consumes for you to get the mastery over the subject. So instead you go with the subject. But if you are a brilliant student since day one in mathematics, and if you are well aware of the topics and be honest with it, and then also you can go with mathematics. But here the logic is two things. One, you should have interest. Second one, it should not be time consuming, right? The third logic is, so there are some optionals, even if you are very good, it's difficult to score good marks in the examination. For example, like optionals like philosophy, psychology, history. So just because somebody got rank 1 in history, don't go for history. So history in general is not a good optional, right? Again, choose syllabus, it takes lots of time. So you can come and discuss later, right? And another personal suggestion is for all of you, because you joined in October, like November we are starting, you should be ideally looking at 24 as your first attempt, right? So don't give 23 attempt just because you want to give, not as an experiment, not as a trial. So don't give your attempt. So better you give 24 attempt. You plan it in this way. You have two options. One, till April May you can complete all the GS course, the foundation course, right? Forget about your optional, right? And then June, July, August, September, everybody starts optional classes. In those 4 to 5 months, join the optional class where you will have to spend like 3 hours in the class, maybe another 2 to 3 hours studying for it. The remaining all the time, like 4 to 5 hours, assuming it is 10-hour duration that you want to prepare, can be invested in only answer writing. Next June onwards. Till June, you will complete all essay basics, I mean GS and essay, the classroom basics, CSAT included. From then optional and only answer writing. So 24 you can think of definitely cracking the attempt. Now if you want to do optional also together with this, right, if you want to join coaching for optional, you may have to spend nearly 10 hours in the classroom. You won't get time to do any self study, right? So now itself minimum 6 hours you have to spend now. So at least you need 4 to 5 hours to go back and read these. As I said, the NCERT textbooks and the class notes. So my suggestion is, so don't give 23 attempt, complete this GS course, foundation course. Next year join optional and then, okay, so that is better. And answer writing, do it. So try to by June be comfortable with answer writing so that when you join a test series, from the first test itself, you should have the confidence of scoring well in the test series. So imagine like from June, July you start with the test series, and by 24 February or March, you will be writing 20 out of 20 answers. The biggest challenge of completing the paper in GS papers. You will be scoring good marks in essay, and by then you would have given thousands of questions in prelims, right? Prelims score will also improve. So in a way, it is a blessing for you. So don't have any kind of urgency. Like some of you may be under pressure that 23 you should give. So convince them, parents or anyone, that 24 is going to be my first attempt, right? So it's a very good blessing actually. Like you'll complete all the GS by June, July, and then after that only answer writing practice. And another thing, state services. If you go through this OGP process completely, the state examination becomes very easy for you. KPSC or any other state examination, the state public service commission exams. Here in KPSC, what has happened is they have reduced interview marks to 25 now. So this year it was 50. So they have reduced to 25 marks. Preliminary questions are mostly taken from previous UPSC questions, and they are slightly reaching the UPSC standard, preliminary. So through our tests and questions and solving previous year UPSC, you will be in a position to crack prelims, KPSC. So you should read some Karnataka geography and history particularly. But when it comes to mains, right, you will have the advantage, biggest advantage, because of answer writing. So in KPSC, you can get rank only by scoring well in the mains. The interview has no significance now. They cannot do anything in interview anymore. So there is no optional also, right? Now let's say they call the notification in the month of January or February, right? By the time you complete OGP, you would be in a position to write KPSC prelims and mains as well, right? Because of only GS focus. So that is also another blessing. So take the course, crack UPSC examination, and this is my dream that somebody should get IAS. I mean the first rank. Again, I keep pushing like we need somebody who can score 300 plus in optional, who has the confidence that you can go on to crack and get first rank. Very good, nice. So majority girls, only 2 boys. What is with all the backbenchers all the time? Hmm? Hey, you don't want to raise your hands. You don't want to. Yaradro in the parents, you can also raise your hands that you want to see your daughter or son. Where the confidence in the? Hmm? No, it is possibility. It is here. You are in insights, right? We have done that. Every year we almost like very near. The difference of marks between rank 1 and rank 30 or rank 20 is just like 15-20 marks, right? Not much. So it is game, like either in interview you score little more or in optional you score little more. right? So the rank 1 is only for prestige purpose. Everybody remembers rank 1. Can you name the rank 2 last year? Hmm? Last year. Because of the unique name, you people remember. Is he a boy? Right. Rank 3? Hmm? Anyone remember rank 3, rank 2 names? Nobody remembers, right? Huh? Jagrati. You might, if you have watched their YouTube videos, you might remember. But in general, you are always interested in the rank 1. So other ranks, nobody would like to remember. So that is how screwed up our society is, right? So for us, all the ranks are equal, right? Even those people who go to interview do not make it to the list. I treat them on par with the toppers, right? They might have missed by 1 mark, 2 mark, even like 10 marks, 20 marks. It is always the difference in either strategy or where they are little weak or little strong. If they correct them, they can also be the toppers. But they are like treated differently in our society. The so-called failures. So this is another thing. I value the failed people more than the successful people. The thrill is in helping the fallen get up and not complete the race, make him win the race. So that is where I see the excitement, not in already somebody who is already good and prepare them and claim them. So there was this girl who didn't clear 5 consecutive prelims. She was also part of OGP, first OGP, Kirtana. She got rank 167 in her sixth attempt, the only attempt where she cleared prelims. So she went on to get rank 167. She got IAS and she got IAS Karnataka cadre. Right. So next month she will get posting in Karnataka. So she was always scared of prelims. 5 consecutive prelims she didn't clear. So meanwhile she cracked KPSC and she became Tahsildar. So during COVID time she was posted in BBMP, right, as a COVID in charge of certain ward regarding COVID management. So during the same time the result came, right. So she got IAS. I think she was working under Manivandan at that time. I don't know. And then after 2 days after the result, she was given a entire in charge of BBMP, the ward management, not one ward. But there was war room, the perception, the same personality, the same manner, same attitude, same behavior. Because you were Tahsildar, you were given at the same capability. Now the result came IAS, then instant promotion, right? So it's not about that. The thing is, it's about the struggle. Who didn't give up. So we guided, like I guided her with respect to essay and answer writing, right? She had written an article on our website also. So in case if you fail, don't give up, because there are people who will not give up on you, right? You can also rely on them. Okay. So wish you all the best. I wish you a very happy journey in this transformative journey where you will learn so many things and at the same time be willing to unlearn so many things. And success is the result of your focus on the process, right? So don't ever think about the outcome. Keep doing your best every day. Keep struggling every day. Try to learn new things. Try to be better in everything that you do. Eventually, you will crack the examination. Thank you.